President William Ruto's reversal of port operations back in Mombasa has sparked hope and prospect at the port city. Stakeholders have welcomed the move, saying it will liberate the market that was near monopolized by the standard gauge railway. Clearing and forwarding agents say Kenya Ports Authority should be served with the president's directive that will breathe life back to the coastal economy. But there is uncertainty among those who depend on the Naivasha dry port. Let's get more from our very own Sam Ogina.
The president has given the coastal region a lifeline with his declaration of reversing port operations back to Mombasa. With port operations central in his campaign pledge for the coastal region, the president made good his pledge. And stakeholders in the region want Kenya Ports Authority served with the president's directive.
We expect the government to begin the official communication with the relevant government agencies, especially the Kenya Port Authority.
Clearing and forwarding has been at the heartbeat of the coastal region's economy. But the advent of the standard gauge railways, while revolutionizing transportation and easing congestion at the port, robbed the region its economic lifeline. But stakeholders have downplayed port congestions with the return of operations back at the coast.
I don't think whether congestion will come back to the port of Mombasa. First, because we have 22 CFSs, and the CFSs are private-owned licensed facilities by Commission of Custom to store goods whose duty has not been collected.
What we are saying, let each and every person or importer be allowed to clear their cargo where they want. They should not be forced.
In March of 2019, Kenya Ports Authority issued a directive that all cargo destined for Nairobi would have to be ferried on SGR. December of the same year, former President Uhuru Kenyatta flagged off a cargo train from Nairobi to Naivasha to mark the start of operations at the Naivasha Inland Container Depot. Cargo destined outside Mombasa for Uganda, South Sudan, Rwanda and other destinations were to be cleared either in Nairobi or Naivasha. The decision by KPA to have cargo haulage done by SGR sparked protests at the coast. In November of 2020, the High Court suspended the directive requiring public participation. An estimated 40% of Mombasa port volume is hauled via SGR to Nairobi ICD, where they are cleared by KPA officials and at select container freight stations. Upon clearance, truckers pick up the containers for their final destinations.
Go along Moi Avenue and any other area where there are offices, you will find that the offices are empty. Even if you go to estates in Mombasa, you will find so many houses are vacant.
Itafufua kwa sababu magari yatarudi barabarani, madereva watarudi barabarani, wale waliokuwa na magari wamepaki as transporters ambao wako most affected watarudi mabarabarani, mapetroli stations zitakuwa na biashara sasa, walikuwa wamepoteza asilimia 30.
At the Naivasha dry port, cargo destined for neighboring countries like Uganda, Rwanda and South Sudan are processed here by KPA officials. Former President Kenyatta handed land to Uganda and South Sudan at the Naivasha dry port. South Sudan got 10 acres to establish its own dry port. This to cut down on truckers on the road from Mombasa.
Sasa nilikuwa naonelea hii port kutolewa huku Maimaio, tena irudishwe Mombasa. Itakuwa tumewaste hii pesa imetumika kwa hii port. At least hata vijana huku ile kazi walikuwa nafanya tutakuwa jobless.
Tukaona hii town ilikuwa imeanza kufunguka kama ingefunguka sana. Sasa sioni haja hiyo port kutoka hapa irudi huko Mombasa, na ilikuwa imetumia pesa mingi sana kukuja hadi hapa.
President Ruto noted the idea behind Naivasha was to establish an industrial park owing to cheap power from geothermal energy, but clearing and forwarding functions should be a preserve of the coast. Sam Ogina, Citizen TV, Nairobi.